Hail and well met. It's Captain Deadeye again back with you. We are switching gears today, and we're actually going to switch over to from WoW, and we're going to play some Guild Wars 2. But first off, I wanted to share all my characters with you. Just the same thing as I did with WoW. I wanted to kind of walk through what I'm playing currently in Guild Wars, and my main character is a human engineer. I am currently working on the mastery for him. I've got a mastery rank 3. I'm 80. He's my only character at 80. Started playing Guild Wars about a month ago after multiple attempts in the past to start playing it and just never got into the game. And then about a month ago, I got a little burnout on WoW, and I said, hey, I want to give Guild Wars a shot, and kind of fell in love with it. It's different enough to hold my interest now. They've added so many cool things, so many cool features like the mechanist that engineers can become and have a giant walking golem that follows you around, Jade Golem. I think that's really awesome. Plus all the specialties, all the masteries of all the different classes, I think is absolutely fantastic in this game. So really enjoying playing it. It's much different than WoW, and it's a good change of pace. So yeah, my main here is a human engineer, human mechanist. I also have a Sylvari thief. Now, once I hit 80 on my engineer, I focused on him, got him all the way up to 80. I also went back after that. I completed all the storyline for the main Guild Wars 2 up through taking out Raishan. And now I'm moving on to the Living World quest and working my way through all the expansions. But what I thought I might do for my second character, my first alt, is go back and create one of each class. So I've done that, and I'm trying to decide what I'm playing now. So I have one of all the 9 classes. And I'm going through and playing each one of those. I've got them all to 10. Now I'm going through and getting them all to 20, and I'm just going to continue leveling that way. Rather than focusing on one single character or one single alt at a time, I'm going to kind of play them all randomly and get them up. So the first one I played through was my Mesmer, a Sylvari Mesmer. She is really cool, and I really enjoy Mesmer. At first I didn't really like it, but now that I'm up to level 20, it's actually a really fun class to play. And like I said, I have a Sylvari Thief. He's at 16. Thief is pretty much like a rogue, although they don't really stealth that much. They can go stealth, but it breaks combat, which is kind of weird. And Thief's more of a monk type class in Guild Wars versus anything that you normally see in WoW. So it's more of a monk type class, and they actually have a monk mastery skill that I think it's called a brawler, if I'm not mistaken. I may be wrong about that. I haven't played it enough to learn all the masteries just yet, but I definitely want to roll that as probably my main mastery on my thief. Go back to my Mesmer. Mesmers create illusions with different attacks and different abilities that can act as sort of like mirror image for mages in WoW. And they also attack and do different things, and they kind of mirror what you do. Some mirror, some actually do different attacks. So it's kind of neat. They can also wield like swords, and they're sort of like a battle mage in that regard. Guardian. This is a Norn Guardian, sort of like a Norse mythology, mythic type person. And a Guardian is basically the Paladin from WoW. They get boons or buffs for different classes, and as you're running dungeons and things, they can buff your allies, and they run with different types of boons on them. You can also activate the boons to do certain abilities or certain give you more power, more crit, those type things. So I'm learning to play him. I've got him up to 18 now, so slowly getting there with this guy. Next is a Char. I think the Char are a really cool race. I'm still learning about all the lore here, so please bear with me as I get into the game and learn about the lore. There's a lot of lore in Guild Wars 2 that I did not know existed until I started really playing and diving into the game. Char are like a tiger slash like demon type race that are sort of like steampunkish, I guess you could say. With the engineer class, they throw out turrets and have like constructs that help them fight in battle. Warriors pretty much all melee, and the Char are a really cool race to play. I also have a Char Revenant. Revenant is sort of like a mix between a rogue, a death knight, and like a paladin, I guess, from WoW. They kind of bounce around the battlefield and doing different attacks, life stealing. those type things. So really fun class to play. Haven't really played him very much. Got him up to level 10. Kind of stopped there. Next one is Human Elementalist. Elementalist, and they're the basic mage class for Guild Wars. They have they can control all 4 different elements: earth, fire, air, and water. They start with fire, and then they gain the others as they level. They do different attacks based on what type of weapons you're holding, and they're a really fun class, but they're kind of squishy, so you have to do a lot of damage and keep things away from you, just like normal magic wielding class in most games. Have a Norn Ranger. They get pets. They can summon pets, and they have bows and guns that they can use. So they're more of a range class, and sort of like the Hunter from WoW, but not as pet focused. They're more of a damage dealing bow type class. That's why they call it a Ranger, not a Hunter in that regard. And then finally we have the Azura. They're sort of like, I call them goblin rats. They're kind of like they look like a goblin from WoW, but they're kind of like a rat type race. And they're sort of the mad scientist of the Guild Wars world. They create constructs, and they work with alchemical solutions, and they make bombs and those type things, explosives. This guy is a necromancer, so I can summon demons and undead and do different attacks and like dots and whatnot. So pretty cool. And that's it. There's only 9 races, 9 classes, 5 races in the game, and I have one of each. I only have one Azura, but I have 2 of every other race as well. So I hope you guys join me soon. I know this is a short video, but I just wanted to highlight the different classes, and you'll see me playing them Guild Wars from time to time. I'm going to continue working on the Living World quest line with this guy. I'm only on season 1 of Living World, and then we're going to move on to the expansions of Heart of Thorns, and then Path of Fire, and then End of Dragons. Once we get into the game, you'll also see me leveling these other characters from time to time. But just wanted to introduce them today. Appreciate you guys joining me. If you like the video, hit like below. That really helps out. And if you want to see more Guild Wars and more WoW videos and other games to come, please subscribe to the channel. It'd be really appreciative. Hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.